Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to Inspiring Hope, the show that celebrates people who are making a difference in our world. I'm your host, Lois Herman, and I'm here today to celebrate two amazing women who've got an incredible story, or both have stories to share. I'm going to let them share their story and how a certain product has made a difference in their world. Who wants to start, Danielle or April? Who would like to start?
Danielle.
Well, thanks. Thanks for having us on. I'm really excited to share a little bit about my story, but just a little insight, my background. I have a degree in biology. That's what I've studied. I've always been fascinated by the body, but my life took a big turn in my 20s. I was hit by a drunk driver and sustained a traumatic brain injury that, it honestly pulled me from my life. And it put me on a very different path, a journey of healing. And I've been walking that path now for over a decade. And the things that I found that supported me in my own healing, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I've gone on to share with other people. And I've helped thousands around the world learn about how to regain their health and how to take a diagnosis that, I was told this is permanent, this is your new normal. And you can see me now, Lois, and those listening can hear me. It was not. I turned that on its head. And I credit a lot of that to what we'll be talking about today, something that supports with cellular health.
Wow, that's incredible. What an incredible story, a comeback story. Yeah, I come from a medical background myself. I'm retired after 40 years in medicine, so and I've got patents in my name from working with developing products. So I have that medical analytical background as well, and then I've gotten into the metaphysical. So I like to tell people that so that they see I've got this right brain, left brain, which is exactly what you bring to this, right?
Absolutely, I do.
That's awesome. And then we have the lovely April.
Oh, thank you. So I'm so excited. This is something I love talking about. The ASEA, it has changed our lives on so many levels. Personally speaking, though, we are the hosts of, my husband and I are the hosts of Spiritually Raw. So all of our topics are revolving around anything within the spiritual realm. So our whole lives, really, we've always been on the search to go deeper, to get a higher level of intuition, to get a higher connection. We've always been on the search to make ourselves feel better, look better, have more energy, defy the laws of gravity, right? And somebody had introduced this product to us, ASEA, and it has really been an absolute game changer. It is truly, without sounding, it is truly the cellular breakthrough of our, without sounding like a cliche, it's a cellular breakthrough of our lifetime. There's just nothing like it. And Lois, in like the truther genre,
Yes.
everyone's always talked about the med bed technology. And yes, I do definitely believe that that technology exists somewhere in the world. It just has not been dripped down to, the public, so to speak. But the technology most certainly exists out there. Well, this is that technology, but it's been dripped out to the public, and it's not in a tubular shape that you lay in, right? It comes in, actually, Danielle has it right behind her, a beautiful blue bottle, and it's in a liquid form. Everything that we've been waiting for with the medbed technology, you go into the medbed, and next thing you know, you come out and your age is digressed, and your mind is clear, your mind is more in tune. This is exactly what it does. It decalcifies the pineal gland. Well, this is what Jay and I have noticed the most. It decalcifies the pineal gland. So it gives you a very heightened sense of oneness. It gives you a higher connection to your source energy, from a spiritual point of view. For us, we're runners. And the one thing that I noticed right from the get-go is, always when you run, you feel it the next day. You're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have run that fast, or maybe I shouldn't have run that long. There's no lactic acid buildup. So for people that work out, you can literally work out as hard as you possibly can one day and you're going to wake up the next day feeling like a daisy. You're not going to have any residual issues from it, right, Danielle? You can work out the next day harder, stronger, faster, longer. It is truly so miraculous. And not only is it age regression, it's actually reversing your age. So I'm going to be 57 next month. You told me your age. I almost passed out. I had no idea. And I'm in better physical, mental, spiritual, financial health than I've ever been in my entire life. And it is absolutely because of the ASEA. And one quick thing I do want to just touch on real quickly. We made a joke before we came on the show, because it not only does it for women balance out your hormones, it balances out your whole frequency and your vibration, and things that used to normally set you off
Mhm.
or ruffle your feathers or just rub you the wrong way. It just doesn't happen anymore because you're more on an even keel. You're much more balanced out. So it's incredible from an intuition, from a spiritual point of view. Check that off the list. From a physical health workout point of view, check that off the list. You're having better sleep. That is the first thing that most people notice, is they say they sleep better. I sleep like a baby now. I used to get incredible night sweats. I mean, literally, I'd be drenched. It balanced out all of my hormones. So, I mean, the list goes on. And Danielle, look, she's a brain trauma survivor.
That's
So
impressive.
it is, because, and Danielle can attest to this better with her biology degree, that it breaks the brain barrier.
Mhm. I know for myself, I am new to the product, new as in, several weeks. The product comes in two things. It comes in the liquid and then it comes in a gel. And for me, I've noticed the gel, because I was sharing, and most people know this about me. I'm a gardener. I'm out in the garden. So I'm getting bug bit and rashes and stuff like that. And I usually scratch them and they end up being kind of onerous for a long time. These, with the ASEA, it's gone within a day. It is amazing how fast, even poison ivy, I had a big rash on my face, gone. I'm like, whoa, this is so different than what I'm used to. I had a drawer full of different types of lotions. I took them all, got rid of them all, and I'm just using the ASEA. So I have that. Plus, I definitely am noticing that I'm a busy lady, and I am more even keel, more focused, more, oh, as you said, less ruffled. Just
Less
turn
ruffled.
off, just chill. And it's a product. If I've also been working out for the first time in my life, which is a good thing. You're a runner. I was a dancer. Once COVID hit, we stopped dancing. I wasn't going to dance with mask on. And we were ballroom and Argentine tango enthusiasts. Anyway, so I just last fall decided, enough of this. This is my 70th year. And I am going to be stronger and healthier than I've ever been. And I truly feel that way. So part of it is the workout that I'm doing. And I am definitely noticing a difference in my endurance. I can get out in those gardens like I've never been able to before. It's
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you look good. You're vibrant. You've got the ASEA glow going.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you. Thank you. So Danielle, you had a brain injury, and then tell us more about the actual biology of ASEA. We hear about a lot of products in the truther and the holistic community. There are a lot of different products out there. What makes this one so different?
Good question. And on my healing journey, I tried everything. I threw everything at this, trying to get myself better, and nothing really got me over the hump until I found redox, because it's different. Like, we're used to hearing about nutrition, getting the right nutrition in the body, what's magnesium going to do, getting the right minerals into you, or learning about antioxidants, the power of glutathione and things like this. We're hearing about essential oils. We're hearing about all these things, frequencies. There's so much out there, and they all play a role for sure. But nothing quite touches what the redox does. So to help you understand, redox just stands for reductants and oxidants, which probably that still doesn't even help because most of us don't remember biology class, don't remember chemistry, but redox reactions power everything. So if I were to put it in the simplest terms, like if you cut your finger, we watch a miracle happen. We watch that cut go away. And I bet you no one's ever stopped and thought, like, how did the body actually know to come and deal with that? Like, how did it know that there was something that had happened in my finger? Well, it knows because a signal goes out. There's a communication between all the trillions of cells that make us up. They're all talking all the time. If they weren't talking, we would not be here. And things would not be able to work. So they talk through reductants and oxidants. Reductants give an electron, oxidants receive one. And so everything, when you get down to that level, it's just energy transfer, it's electron transfer. And the older we get, the less of these redox molecules our own body makes. And so when April is talking about, age reversal and all these things, like it sounds good. And you're like, well, what is she talking about? Like, how is this possible? This is what's happening. So as you age, you literally make less signaling molecules. Your mitochondria are less efficient. They're made in the mitochondria. And so all of a sudden, you have less little alert signals going out. And this is why as we age, we don't recover as fast. Say if we fall off a bicycle, we don't recover as fast from a surgery. We start to have things creep up that weren't there when we were younger, that we don't see in kids, right? And it's because when there's damage or a dysfunction, the alert goes out. And as we get older, the alert's gotten weaker. And so that thing is not identified. It can become chronic. It can become an issue. What ASEA has done is basically they have figured out how to make the same molecules that your body makes, these reductants and oxidants, outside your body so you can replenish your body's supply, which means it just like fills the gas tank back up. All of a sudden now you're communicating like you did when you were little. So you're talking about all the little cuts and ouches and stuff that happen in the garden. Well, guess what? When you were a little kid, those things also, it was like gone, gone, gone. Like your body just was able to deal with those things very fast, very rapidly. And you, in your 70th year, right, are now able to do it the same. Why? Because now you've restored the communication. So the body, it's like having 5 bars of service on your cell phone. We know the difference between a conversation with 5 bars and with 1 bar.
Right.
And it's night and day. When the communication is happening, everything can function smoothly. And so these molecules are basically helping your system to identify where are the issues and then alert. And so with my injury, with my brain, April alluded to it, it does. These molecules are small enough, they pass the blood-brain barrier, and your body recognizes them. It thinks it made them. So like you can't be allergic to it. Nobody can. Plants, animals, people, we can't be allergic. Completely non-toxic. There's no amount that could build up in your system that could be a problem. Like as soon as it gets into your system, boom, communication happens. Like it's not sitting around, it can't build up and it won't contraindicate. So if you're taking other things, you're doing supplements, maybe you're on a medication because you have to be, you're doing different therapies, it's fine. It's already interacting with redox and you just add this in, it augments. I've seen it make things happen more efficiently. I've watched people's, the nutrition they've been taking in, now all of a sudden it's actually getting uptaken into the cells. It's actually going to work. So it's a really powerful thing to add into the body. And it also is helping internally inside of the cells, the communication happening in the cell, like the activation of different genetic pathways. When you put in redox molecules, I think about it like almost like a domino, like you hit one domino and there's this cascading effect of all of these different things that happen. And so lots of keys get played on the piano. If you're using something like a lot of people are familiar with glutathione, right, that's one key on the piano, a very powerful key, I might add, right? That helps the body to detoxify, helps the body deal with inflammation, but that's one key on the piano. With redox, it's working upstream. So it's hitting things that are also hitting this key that helps with hormone balance, and this key that helps with boosting your innate immune response, and this key that helps with digestive enzyme production. And so with redox, with ASEA, we hear so many stories and people go, I don't understand. Like, how can one thing touch so much? But when you get down to what I just shared, which is, well, it's just helping your body figure out where your issue is and get it resolved. And it's helping switch back on what's gotten switched off in your body. Well, that's why we're going to see different things, because what's off in my system is different than what's off in yours. But when you take this and you just drink it, it's very simple. You just drink it, the body knows, and the body goes to work with it. The topical that you showed, it's nice because you can localize it. Like, oh, the garden, I got an ouch right here. I need to put it right here. And you'll watch. You'll watch what'll happen with an increase in communication.
Yes.
So that's the essence of it.
It's amazing. So it's basically restructuring the cellular memory. It's helping the cells to remember how to produce themselves.
It's helping the cells to get communication going again. It literally,
Okay.
like, this is potential in a bottle. If you were to think about like a light switch that's on a dimmer switch,
Mhm.
you know, and maybe you've been sitting in a room, you're reading a book, and you're at a friend's house and you don't know, and there's like not much light, and you're like, oh, it's kind of hard to read, and you're trying, and your friend walks by and goes, let me help you out. Just, you know, puts the dimmer up. Well, that
Mhm.
light bulb had all of this potential, but
Right.
there wasn't enough electricity flowing to it. Well, the friend just upped it. It's the same thing in your body. Like right now, we have only so much potential at our age. This is like putting the dimmer switch
Mm.
back up, full blast. So now all of a sudden, everything can talk. And so your cells are now able to communicate, to do what they're designed to do. They want to be in harmony. They want to be in balance.
Mm.
And that's what happens when you add in ASEA. And I mean, it's elegant. It's so simple. It's so simple that some people miss it. They go, it can't be. It can be. It can be, and it is. And it's been around for 15 years. I just somehow it's like the best kept secret that I don't know why. I think the timing had to be right for people to be open to actually understanding it. And there's actually literally like it's called the law of diffusion of innovation, like how disruptive technologies enter the marketplace. And it's always in a bell curve, and there's always a chasm. It's got to be bridged before the masses jump on. And I think ASEA has been bridging that chasm.
Mhm.
So it's exciting to hear that it's getting out to people, you know, and that people are, you know, open and listening and having great results. I'm so happy to hear what it's been doing for you.
It's not considered a nutritional supplement. What it is, what do
Technically,
you technically?
technically, on the bottle, it says a cell signaling supplement, but this is
Okay.
kind of funny. Like, as the company has expanded to different countries, they've had to talk to all these different governments, and it's had to be put into a category. And this is a category creator. Like, there is not a category for cell.
There won't be either.
Yeah,
There
this
won't,
is it.
they have, yeah, ASEA is it. They have it locked, stocked. It's got multiple patents. It won't, they never thought that it could ever be produced, that this product could ever be produced. And it will never be remade or reproduction or by any other company. It's impossible. It can't be done.
Wow. And it is as simple as you say drink it. One of the things that I have learned from you and Jay and April is that it's absorbed through your tissues. So I know a lot of the different things that I take are sublingual. So you have to kind of hold it in your mouth for a little bit, because I have heard of people who said, oh, I tried that years ago and it didn't work. Well, did they try the right dose, and did they allow it to absorb into the tissue before completely ingesting other food that's going to disrupt its efficacy? So that's one of the things that I have heard.
Yeah, when people say it didn't work, I always say, because I've heard this too, and I'm like, well, number one, some people aren't as tuned into their body, and they're not noticing because the shifts are subtle. And I would say to them, like, well, did you notice if you were low in vitamin D and then you took vitamin D and now you have high vitamin D levels again? Like, no, but your blood work showed a difference, right? But some
Right.
people are just not consciously that aware of their system. So I always tell people baseline your health. Like, put everything down, because you might be consciously aware, like, oh, I'm wanting it to help with X issue, but
Mhm.
this isn't designed for that issue. It's designed to support your system, and your system might know that there's something else going on, and
Mhm.
it's going to go work on that thing. And so it's not going to get to the thing you're paying attention to first. It's just not.
Right.
So the liquid can take time. I tell people at least 90 days, and the product is now more concentrated than it used to be. So anyone that's like, oh, I've tried it before, well, guess what? You have not tried this version of ASEA before. It's 30% more concentrated now.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it's giving, just, you get more bang out of it. I mean, it's just more potential, right? There's just more light going into the body. And I'm excited to see what happens for people as we have this, you know, more potent product. And the amount you drink, I mean, it varies, and you'll find your sweet spot, but 6 ounces is
A little
what I
cup.
think the sweet spot will be. Yeah, just 3 of those little cups, and you swoosh, you swallow, that's it. And if somebody wants instant gratification, well, April can talk all about that, because she's like the queen of the gel and instant gratification, because it's like, all right, show me, right? Don't tell me, show me.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean, it's impossible to use the gel and not get an instant reaction. That's what's so great about it. And not only does it make your skin tighter and more luminous, it also helps with just evening out your skin tone. And I used to, I'm all Italian, and I would always have very dark circles around my eyes. It doesn't matter. I could have used the most expensive cream, lotion, potion. I could never get rid of these dark circles. And I hardly have dark circles at all anymore. But in addition to, we talked about this right before the show, I live in South Florida, and we literally just got back last week from St. Martin. When I started on this product, and I looked at the tube of gel, and I said, you know what? I'm going to really put it to the test and not use sunscreen, because I hate sunscreen. I never liked it. I was never a believer in sunscreen because it's so toxic. It's so thick. And so one day I just went out and I said, you know what? I live in South Florida. This is a perfect way to test it. And I didn't get any sunburn, no sun issues, nothing, zero, zilch. And from that day, everything, any type of sunscreen that I ever had ended up in the trash can. That is all I use. I use no sunscreen, and I don't have any sun issues. I never burn. My skin does not peel. And I think a lot also has to do with when you re-regulate your system on the inside, then the outside reacts very differently as well. So I think that has helped, from a cellular point of view, the cells on the inside are a lot more healthy. And, the cellular communication is a lot louder now, right? It's functioning the way that it should be when we were younger. And that is coming out on the outside as well. It's showing on the outside.
Another thing that we're dealing with, and we hear about this, is all the toxins in our environment now. There's so many more toxins in the air, in our water, in our food. And so whatever we can do to keep our body physically healthy, we need to give it all the support we can, because we're fighting unseen battles everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I talked about glutathione. ASEA actually upregulates the NRF2 pathway, which for biologists who know what that means, everybody else doesn't. But basically what it means is that the body's innate glutathione that it produces goes up. The NRF2 pathway is upregulated by 60%, 60. So all of a sudden your body is going to, when you start the ASEA, it's going to start making more of its master antioxidant. And that's exactly what glutathione does. It goes and it figures out what metals are in my body that shouldn't be, what toxins are in here, and it's going to help flush them out. And for that reason, some people actually feel a detox. Like they know that things are coming out of their system, and it happens for all of us. I always tell people, drink more water when you start ASEA, because you're going to flush things that shouldn't be there out of your system. And it's glorious. Like you're going to feel great on the other side. It's maybe not so fun as you flush things out, right? Sometimes when you clean your house, it gets dirty before it gets cleaner, right? Because you have to take everything out of all the corners. It gets all crazy, and then, you clean out. And that's what happens in the body. But it's profound. I mean, it's one of the things that I have a lot of practitioners that they say, look, the first thing I want to do is put you on redox. Like it primes the pump. I want to get you on ASEA. Just do a 90-day protocol with it. Let's see how we can get your body, just by giving it what it innately uses to detoxify, to recalibrate. Let's get you back baselined. And then we'll figure out, okay, are you missing some sort of nutrition, or are you missing, a certain thing that now we can add back into your system? But before that, like they're throwing all sorts of stuff. People taking handfuls of supplements. And it's like, there's a better way, and it's available to us now, and it's real simple.
That's wonderful.
You know what else I love too, Danielle, to tag on that? ASEA brings your body to homeostasis. So, and then if you are taking other supplements and you're thinking, well, like, why aren't they working? You need to get your body to homeostasis. Then your supplements will really start working. So, and the other thing, if someone's feeling like, well, I'm not really sure if I'm feeling anything, which would, be surprising, but sometimes you hear that, try not taking it for a day or two. And then all of a sudden you start to feel like, 4 o'clock, you're getting a little sluggish and you don't know why, or your sleep was, not a smooth ride and you're not really sure why. When you stop taking it, even if it's accidental or you forget for a day, and I've never gone more than a day without taking it. I've never gone more than one time, right? Because I I can feel when my body needs it again. And as soon as I take that shot, I say to Jay, it feels like the light bulb. I'm just like, oh gosh, I needed that. And that's how you really, really can feel it. Just not take it for a day or two. And then you start feeling like the little, oh, my neck is sore from typing on the computer all day long. Or, something doesn't feel like I don't feel as good as I did a couple days ago. And that's the redox that is in your system or needs to get replenished in your system.
And you typically take it in the morning and then you take it like in the afternoon. Many people have that afternoon slump.
I take it for,
A
that's why
cup
I
of
take it in the
coffee or
afternoon.
chocolate or something to give energy.
Exactly.
So I'm learning to take a shot of the redox in the afternoon.
Yes, that works best for me as well. We take it first thing in the morning. I mean, it is literally the one eye gets open, we're like, that starts the engine. And then around that 4 o'clock time frame, you need to feel another shot. And then you're like ready to go again. It sustains your energy stronger, better, longer than anything I've ever come across. If it did nothing else and just gave us the sustained energy that Jay and I feel, I'd be sold.
Mhm.
But the fact that it does everything else is just incredible. It's hard to imagine that just one product, a liquid that is all natural, can do this to your system, that has the ability to uplift, regenerate, rebuild your cells from the inside out. It's just incredible. It's incredible technology.
And so the lotion, the gel, is a concentrated version of the liquid. And it also serves for some muscular pain control. Is that correct as well?
Yeah, that was like when people got their hands on it, just funny story, backstory, like this was when it was being brought to Australia, the government hadn't approved the liquid yet because they couldn't figure out what category it was in. All right. So they didn't know what to do with it, but the gel was a cosmetic. So it was like, oh, that's allowed in, no problem. So what the Australians did, they started to get super creative with the gel. And so they were like, well, okay, well, we've got somebody on dialysis. Like, well, what would happen if we put it on the kidney? And like, we've got these kids that, are on this spectrum and they're having all these behaviors. What would happen if we just like rubbed it all over the skin, belly button, bottoms of the feet, vagus nerve? Like, could we get the redox in this way? Yes, turns out skin, right, is our biggest organ. Whatever we put on it goes deeper. And so while there is a lot of research with the gel on like what it does for the skin, wrinkles and cellulite and all that stuff, it can actually help where you have discomfort. And so you can feel it within minutes. Like I always tell people, if you've got discomfort in your body, baseline it, like scale of 1 to 10, please pick a number. And then, and your range of motion, right? Maybe a deep knee bend or like your shoulder, and then rub it on 3 times within a 5-minute period. I watch 9 out of 10 people and they'll go, how did it just do that? Right? Like, what is that? What's in there? And it's like, yeah, this is when you can alert, right? Because all of it's doing, it's letting the body know where the issue is. And it's amplifying the call. So now the body's like, oh, whoops, there's an SOS at the shoulder. Like, didn't hear the call before. Let's go deal with it. And what do you feel? Well, you feel less discomfort. You feel that, I mean, actually, the research shows there's an increase in blood flow by like 49%. So the body is sending whatever's needed to the area to deal with it in the way that the body knows how, right? This doesn't cure, heal, treat, prevent anything. This lets the body know where the issues are. Your body is the incredible machine. I mean, your body does.
It sure is. Yeah. That's amazing. What amazing stories. What amazing stories.
And it's also, we didn't even touch on this, but I will real quick. Animals can take it. So it is safe enough because it's all natural. Animals can take it. And we just had an experience. Animals can drink the liquid and some of them love it. Our dogs, I can't get them to drink the liquid. But the other day, we had the groomer groom the dog. We have 3 of them. And she went a little too close on the belly area.
Mm-hmm.
And that caused immediate redness, which caused irritation, which caused the dog to like scratch. And next thing you know, she's ripping her skin open. And you're like, you feel awful because they're in agony. and she won't drink the ASEA. So I said, you know what, Jay, let's go put some in a spray bottle. And we just started spraying it on her belly, the liquid. And then we put the gel on her belly because that goes right through. And it's just miraculous how thank God quickly it's healed.
Wow. Well, you know, one of the things that I learned from a holistic vet is if you wanted to get product into an animal more quickly, you put it in their ears, because their ears, there's no fur. My little kitty had her hysterectomy. And the vet had me put an essential oil in the inside of her ear to take away the pain.
That's a great idea.
Isn't that great? Yeah.
Mhm.
Little extra things we learn from our situations that we live through, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I learned a lot on my journey. I you know, I don't think I mentioned it. So just to share what happened with me, with all the modalities and all the things that I tried, I was 2 years out from my accident and still unable to focus for more than about 10 minutes. I was sensitive to noise, to light. I had pounding that was relentless in my head, and I'd been told by doctors this was just my new normal. A year in, they told me that. But we kept searching, kept looking, and an acupuncturist had recommended the ASEA. And I originally sort of, you know, I was like, oh, sounds too good to be true. Like, where's the research? And back then they didn't have the research. Now they do. Back then they didn't. This was like a decade ago. But eventually my mom used the product. She'd bought it and it was at the house, and I was just refusing to use it. So she used it and she had results in her hands. She couldn't make a full fist. She had so much discomfort in her joints. 6 weeks of drinking it, she had full range of motion coming back. My dad started using it. He had all this energy. He was like, I feel amazing in my workouts, like this. What is this stuff? You know? And that's when they sat me down and said, Danielle, just give it a try. Like, can't hurt you, might help you. And drinking it, I didn't notice anything week 1, month 2, you know, so there's people out on the internet that say, hey, this stuff doesn't work. I was there. I thought the same thing until the 3rd month. 90 days in, all of a sudden, the pounding that had been in my head was gone. Has never come back. I started to be able to have like the ability to get the words out that I wanted to. I used to feel like I was thinking through mud and I couldn't get the word out I wanted to say. Energy. I was like, what April's talking about, just like, bing, you're on. It was like, all of a sudden I wasn't having a nap, was sleeping great. And as I continued to use it, everything changed. You know, I've been able to just, I'm better than I was prior to my accident, I would say, because intuition, all of these things, much deeper. And, you know, when you go through something like that, I just realized like this happened for a reason. You know, I have a degree in biology, I understand the science. I love to help and teach people. And I can't know that tomorrow is not guaranteed. I mean, it's just not for any of us. That accident happened out of nowhere. I was doing nothing wrong and I just got hit. And because of that, since I got my health back, I'm like, every single day, I want to do something where I know I'm helping somebody else. And that if it were my last day, it would have been a day well lived. And so that's why I aligned myself with ASEA. And for the last, 8 years now, I've been educating and sharing with people. And I've watched, thousands of people use the product, have results, get their health back, get their vibrancy back. And it's just an amazing thing to be a part of, like the community of people that are getting the word out. I call them pioneers because, you know, like when anything's new, like think about when penicillin came to the market, it was bread mold. Okay. And it was 100 years ago and it was laughed at and it was ridiculed and it wasn't taken seriously. And then we had a war, we had a need for it. And all of a sudden it was like, let's try this crazy thing. Let's try the bread mold. It worked. And then penicillin was like ubiquitous. It's the same thing with redox. Like if people knew what I knew, if you'd seen what I've seen over the last 8 years, people would be knocking down my door to get this. They just don't know yet. You know, we haven't hit that tipping point, but it's coming. Like this will be something that's in everyone's household. Why wouldn't it be? It's a safe way. Like the dog. Like, why wouldn't you give the people you love the best thing to support them so that they feel their best? Like it's just a no-brainer. So I thank you for having us on to educate, to enlighten people about this, because it's life-changing. It was for me. And I know there are people praying that are looking for something and they just don't know. Like the answer's in a blue bottle. It's not a med bed. It's not any, the blue bottle. and it's simple.
Until the med beds come, maybe that's all you'll need.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You know, I know you'll appreciate this, Lois. When Burtis Norton, he's actually the founder and the creator of ASEA. In the very beginning stages, they were doing what would you call that, Danielle? A test run?
Beta test group.
A
Yeah.
beta test. Yeah, they were doing a beta test. And there were maybe a dozen people in it, would you say? About a dozen people in it. And it was just, they'd gone through years of research and R&D, and they were now at the beta test stage. They had a handful of people, and they were this handful of people were having miraculous results. And the word got out. Big pharma, knew about it, found out about it. They looked at all the data and they said, you know what, Burtis, you got something special here. We want to come see you. And they did. They flew in. This is during the beta test. This big pharma flew in and they said, okay, we're going to offer you this number with like a whole lot of zeros. Okay. And they said, but there's just one caveat. And he said, well, what's that? And he said, you have to take it off. They said, you have to take this product off the market.
Right.
And he said, I can't do that.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for
They wanted to buy out ASEA, not to bring it into the world, to remove it
Yeah.
from the world. So this man could literally have been a billionaire overnight. And he said, I am not going to do it.
Good.
Yep.
We've got to get all of the good, healthy remedies out there that could help people. And there's so many different amazing people who are doing good things in our world, and that's what we're here to celebrate. So for those of you who are interested, you can reach out to me and I can have a conversation with you. We can have a private chat with Danielle and April and get more information for you. There's a special going on in June, starting in June, right? So there's a lot of good things happening. And that's part of why I was excited to have both of you on. And thank you for your time and for what you're doing to help humanity. Appreciate
Thank you
so much.
It's our honor.
Any last thoughts?
I love what you said. Celebrate life, and life will celebrate you back.
That's right.
And this is a phenomenal way to start celebrating life, because it gives you your life and it gives you your life back.
It does. It certainly does. I'd say if you're still listening to this, there's a reason. It's resonating, something inside of you. Listen to your intuition. Don't listen to your mind. It's going to try to analyze everything. Listen, reach out to Lois, get your questions answered, get started with what makes sense for you, for your family. And I can't wait to hear the success story on the other side.
One of the things that I resonated with was try it for a month. And if it doesn't work, you get refunded. It's you're just investing in yourself, your health, and see if it works for you. It may not. Chances are it will. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you both so very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Until next time, everyone, look up, stay positive, and be the light in someone's day.
Oh,
God bless.
much love.